Not too shabby, Libra, not too shabby. Okay, so what's the perfect antidote to chaos and instability? Libra, of course. The Libra card, justice, comes up. This is a balancing of the scales, and it kind of feels like no matter what the first half of April's been like, or whatever you guys have been going through, there's this kind of determined energy that's coming in. And it may be like, with us shifting into Taurus towards the end of the month, that's the kind of stability that you need, that energy, because it talks about balancing the scales. Now, for some people, what does balancing the scales mean? It can mean that we have to take recourse to the law or to a contract or something, because the Justice card does indicate all of those kinds of things. But I usually focus on the main energy, the core energy of that card, because it can play out in so many different ways in our lives. And this is about if there's been an injustice or if there's been kind of chaos, justice happens. Like balance is, it's, what am I trying to say? Come on, Jay. I can't even speak. There is kind of a balancing of the scales here. There's been some kind of redress. If you've been wronged, now things are righted. Or if you've done wrong to someone, remember it works both ways. That is, you get a chance to make amends for that. This can be apologies. This can be justice for the truth. This is the main focus for the second half of the month. I do feel at a core level, it's an underlying energy. You guys, it's all about feeling balanced again. What's fear? There's been a sense of this is not fair. Something's not right here. I don't think this is correct. And I'll be honest, whenever I see court cards with this, I usually see like law and lawyers and barristers. And it doesn't have to be that. But it's that sense, right? People talking about things, having a conversation, and I'm jumping ahead, but to balance out, to make what went wrong right, to make amends. And something is not right here. Something is amiss, because at the heart of the reading, we have the Four of Cups. Now, at the kind of, at the very least, the energy of this card is just being really bored. Like, nothing. It's the same old. And you're just not feeling, you're not feeling excited about anything or passionate about anything. You're just feeling kind of stuck. That's what the Four of Cups is. You're stuck in a rut. You don't see a way to get out of it. We have these three cups here, and they're all the same. This person is just, look at him, dejected. He's like, seriously? That's all I get? These three cups? I just have to deal with this? And he's not even looking at them. He might be thinking, well, what I really wanted was this shiny, beautiful cup. This is what I truly wanted, but I've got this instead. And the thing is, that is coming in. That to me is the Ace of Cups. Now, I kind of get the sense with the three cups there. The three cups there, that's the Three of Cups for me. You're not impressed by the support that you're getting, the friends that you have, your friends and family, just the group that you're in. Whatever emotion is being offered to you right now, it's just not there. And it can be that, maybe you've made an offer. Sometimes this is when someone's made an offer of love or some kind of emotional declaration, and it's still sat on the table. No one's picked it up. No one's even talked about it. Well, justice will change that. These two are going to change that. This is about just feeling stuck, and it's at the heart. And that's rather than this being like, please don't look at it as like predicting, oh my God, second half of April is going to be boring. I mean, if you choose to sit here and not look up, because this guy, if he looked up, he'd see the cup that he wants is right there. But I kind of get the sense with this, the push here is that no, if things are wonky or chaotic and stuff, I don't want that. I do not want this. And I say this to Libras all the time that, I often get Libras saying, hey, I'm a Libra, I need balance in my life. And I always tell them it's the other way around. You bring balance to life. As Libras, that's what you do. You guys are the Justice card. You guys are the scales in the zodiac. You guys do the balancing act. So yes, you guys need balance, but the balance always begins from within. And it feels like here, there's something that would make you very happy. And that's just, that's what you feel kind of out of balance because of this. Why is that? Well, we have the Seven of Wands coming up as the foundation of the past energy. Something that you fought for. That's what it feels like. You've kind of stood your ground on something. And that's huge for you guys. I know a lot of Libras, they're more ready to compromise than, they'll be like, okay, don't worry. And more often than not, you guys will compromise yourselves. It's not even compromising, a fair compromise. It's just, as much as justice is about fairness and balance, sometimes you guys give of yourselves too much to balance the situation. But no, it feels like you made a stand on something. This is what I stand for. I'm not willing to take this anymore. This is when things can be coming at us from every angle. Like, look at these ones flying up from every angle. But you had the higher ground. Look at this guy ready to swing. He's like, get away from me. I do not want this. I do not accept this. This is mine. Go away. That's the energy that's coming up. So this could be, all right, I've kind of kept it very general, but this can literally apply to anything. It might be at work. There's been maybe a contract you had to fight for and you fought for it. A relationship. You've tried to bring balance to that. You're bringing balance to that relationship because you made a stand. You had to defend something about that relationship. But it just kind of feels, the sense that I'm getting from these two cards with the Four of Cups sat in the middle is you've put in the effort. Like, no one can say to you, hey, Libra, you did nothing. You just stood there and let them run roughshod all over you. Not getting that. And I think that's what's kind of done it for you. That, yeah, you stood up for yourself. You've defended it. You've put in the work. You put in the effort. And you're like, but still, am I not getting what I wanted? Why did I do that then? Don't worry. It's about to get balanced. And look at this. Talk about balance. We have the King and Queen of Swords. I'm going to go with both of them together. Now, usually how the readings work is this energy, whatever was here, it leads to this. It leads to the present, right? This aspect of the past leads to this aspect of the present. And this then leads to one possible future. We have millions. Every possible future exists in potentiality right now. So what we do here, this is the point of power always for me. What we do here is what affects whether this happens or not. And that's why we have an extra advice card on how we can get to this. But with the King of Swords coming up here, if you've wanted the truth, some of you, I think what you're waiting for is the truth. You fought for something, you stood by it, and you're like, well, okay, bring that truth in. Could be another air sign that you're dealing with. So Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but I don't get that. It doesn't always have to be that way. The signs do not own the cards. Remember that. This kind of feels like, someone who's on the same level as you. This is a meeting of two minds here. Imagine these two. They're going to chat away. They're going to put the world to rights and they probably have the knowledge to do it as well. King of Swords. He's so knowledgeable. He's very intelligent, very logical. But the thing with him is that he can be emotionally detached. So if you go to him, these two have no problems making decisions. They know their truth. Both of them sit there holding their sword of truth, like justice. There's this huge kind of element of truth coming in here. You have fought for this truth. You wanted it to come in. And it's an emotional truth as well. Like, it's almost like, can someone just tell me how you're feeling? Or, you're trying to get to the bottom of how you're feeling about something. If someone's made an offer to you, it's like, how do I truly feel about this? Am I just bored and stuck? Or am I missing something here? These two can figure that out. So with them coming up in the present and, where it leads to is, if you stick by your guns, Libra, and I think that's the main thing, if you kind of redress this balance, look for the truth, go with the truth. When we compromise, when we kind of balance things out, we want everything to be fair and neat and nice and lovely. It's not always about the truth. The truth isn't always nice and pretty and fluffy. It can be kind of brutal for one person. Always liberating the truth always sets us free. I do believe that. But it's not always kind of fluffy and nice and pretty and stuff. But I don't think you care about that at the moment, not with justice coming up. It's the truth. What is the truth here? With them coming up, either someone will tell you the truth or you will speak your truth. And it's telling you to be the true you, authentically. Who are you, Libra? And are you kind of happy to go ahead and show that to people? There might be people by the end of this month who are looking at you and they don't know who you are anymore. But you're like, I've always been this person. I've always been this person. You just haven't seen it. You always just chose to look at what you thought I was, but you missed out on this. And yeah, and it kind of feels if it feels like you're going out on a limb. That's what I'm getting here. If it feels like you're going out on a limb, that being yourself, like you're going to stick out like a sore thumb, doing something differently, speaking your own truth. Worry not, because we have the counterpart coming up to the king here. We have these two. It feels like there is a kindred spirit here, and that's what you want. This Ace of Cups. Now, whether that is in, if you're at work, you're having to stand up for yourself and no one's really backing you and you're like, well, that's the truth. This is how it is. This is what I think is best for this business deal, this project, this working environment, whatever. Someone's going to come in to back you up here. But you kind of feel stuck. That's what's keeping you stuck. But, that can't stop you, because it will just throw you more and more out of balance if you just sit there and just let things happen around you the way they are. And I guess I'm getting that the block for a lot of you is because you've stood up for stuff recently, and it's just like there's a delay in the results of this coming through. There is a delay in it coming through. The Four of Cups shows us that. But what's the advice? I'm going to pull a few more clarifiers for what these two are coming up here for. It can be romantically, this is a partnership. Either if you're already in a partnership, you two become, some of you are so bored, stupid within your relationship. Four of Cups says that. You fought for that relationship. You wanted to make it happen. Now you're waiting for like, da-da moment and nothing. It's kind of fallen flat. Or you're saying how you feel to someone and they're not accepting. Or they've said how they feel about you and you're like, you're just not my person. But they are. Whoever, whether it's that person or not, there is someone, you two are on the same page here. Meeting of two minds. They're a couple, right? This is a romantic relationship. These two vibe, they're the perfect king and queen to sit together on their phones. So what's the advice? The advice is the Six of Wands. This is take pride in who you are, in what you're doing. Take pride in the battles that you have fought, in what you have stood up to, in the ground that you've been defending, whatever it is that you stand for. Take pride in that because you will be recognized for that. This is a recognition. And it might be that, if you're the King of Swords, you are recognized by the Queen of Swords, a kindred spirit here. If it's not, if it could be that someone comes in here, that the King of Swords is someone who comes in and you're like, oh, it's more of the same, right? It isn't. Six of Wands says it's recognition for the work that is done. It's a success card. It's a victory card. Very kind of simple message, but I like it because especially after the chaos of last time, this is so needed and it kind of feels good on you. It feels like you're like ready to get it done. Like you're ready to make it happen. No more wait and see. It's like, I want the truth. I want the truth. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to speak my truth. Death. Yeah. Change. Now, death, yes, it's transformation, it's change, but we always see it coming. It's never a surprise. It's never a surprise. And it's kind of slow. It's transitional. So no wonder you're kind of sat here thinking, where the hell is that cup? I fought for it. Where is it? Death says it's coming and things must be removed from our lives. Some of you, so it's air energy. You could be dealing with a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Libra here, which is you guys. Interesting because I think Virgo just got that as well as one of the clarifiers. So this is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. See, at some point it becomes redundant because all of the signs come up. I mean, the only one you haven't got here is Cups, which is water signs, and you can guarantee some of you are dealing with the water sign. So, but it's more about the characteristics of that. What are the characteristics of the Prince of Pentacles or the Knight of Pentacles? He moves slowly. He's a knight, so he's going to progress. He's going to move. He's going to advance in a certain direction. This guy goes slowly, but he's reliable and he's dependable. If there are worries, like, it feels like something slowly has been coming about and you've worked at it. That's what I'm getting. You've put work towards this. I do feel that with this fire energy, with Wands coming in and with the Queen of Wands, things are going to start to pick up. But how does that happen? Nothing just happens, right? It comes through open, clear communication, honesty. And that doesn't have to be like having these kind of big kind of heart-to-heart conversations with people. It doesn't have to be that. It can literally just be willing to stand up and say, this is who I am. And what's the thing with the Queen of Wands? She knows who she is and she knows how to use what she has to get what she wants. You get it. Victory coming up there at the end. Let's pull you some oracle cards. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And sometimes it can be that. Like we can overwhelm ourselves with, what am I doing? Where am I going? All of that kind of. And the Knight of Pentacles can do that sometimes too. He's usually the happiest where he's like, okay, next step. What's the next step? Am I taking this in the right direction? Doing that. And this can be like, stop and smell the roses. So cliche to say, but it's true. Where are you right now? And so many of the signs have been getting messages like that. Like, where are you right now? What is it about this moment? Bring balance to that moment and then it will, the next moment and then the next. And then that's how we go. That's how we can make things happen. There is a sense of loneliness coming up here with this. Like, I know people look at the Hermit card and think that's loneliness. I don't see that as loneliness. That's more we take that step back ourselves to kind of reflect. And we can do that in a room full of people. This is more, this can be the loneliest feeling when you're surrounded by people that just, you don't feel anything. It's like, you're not doing anything for me. But there is some connection that you want, whether it's an ally at work, whether it's the right business partner, whether it's the friend that you need, someone to talk to, an advisor, a consultant, whatever it is, you seem to be getting that. And that's what, it helps you with your confidence. You've kind of come to life again. The fire returns to you. The passion returns to you. Oh my gosh, see? So with these two, they don't even need this advice. Be authentic to who you are. You are asked to be real and You are asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. Already covered that with these two. They're all like that. Even the Queen of Wands is like that. She's very authentic. Like, she only knows how to express her own energy, her own fire, her own passions. And that kind of feels like, think about it. If this is a defensive energy, and it's a defensive energy, you can't really push energy out when you're trying to stop it, right? You're blocking energy. So that's a one-way street. This is more about it going outwards now. You're ready to flip the switch in that. You don't have to keep fighting, defending. Now it's time to express who you are. And that's a change that's coming. That's been coming. By the book. This to me is like the Hierophant card in this deck. So by the book, it's like, what are the rules that you're following? And sometimes it pays to follow the rules, right? Sometimes it does. It brings order to our lives, whether that's the rules we learned from our parents, from our spiritual teachers, from society, whatever it is. But we decide which book we pick up. There are so many rule books out there. Which one are you following? Whose rules are dictating how you live your life? Because you can bet these two, the rules that they follow are the ones that they have learned. They will only go by their own experience. For those of you that have listened to my podcast that I do, my podcast episodes, that's how I talk about. I don't talk about things that I've read or someone's told me or what I know in theory. I only ever talk from experience. This is what I've learned. This is what I've seen. That's what these two are like. And that's kind of what's asking you. You've experienced a lot. Look at this. You've gone through something here. That has to have changed you. A new you is born from that. So if there's a new you here now, are you still going to follow the old rules, or are you going to come up with a whole new bunch of rules? All right, let's pull you a postcard from Spirit. Oh, and then one flew out. Okay. And it says, Dearest you. Straight away, it's the Justice card. There is always more than one side to an argument. Two sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right, be different, be at odds, and so on. Today, we suggest that instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks or how an alternate plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, but accept that others have different stories, experiences, and journeys, and some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what, you've been presented with a great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. We love you so much. And yeah, these two alone indicate that. You know, they have each other's back. They're on the same page. They might not even always agree with each other. Why? Because they've each had their own individual experiences. But they know how to communicate that to each other. And as long as you can bet whatever the King of Swords says to her and whatever she says to him, even if they're from different pages, as long as they're authentic and true to each other, as long as it's the truth, they'll be open to the other person's truth. It's when someone starts trying to lie or, you know, pull the, what am I trying to say? Excuse me, pull the wool over someone's eyes. That's when there's a problem. That's when that sword comes swinging down. But I don't think that's the problem. This, with justice here, that sword of truth, this is about expressing the truth and the truth balancing the scales.